How's it, Miles? Nice sunny day today, and we find ourselves at yet another great bike park, and today we find ourselves at the Cycle Lab Bike Park.
Yes, Ben, this is the OG of bike parks right here in the heart of Bryanston.
It's a bike park that we're quite familiar with, of course. We've ridden here quite a lot. It's owned and run by Cycle Lab and the More Corp Group, and it really is a place where everybody can come and have a good time.
And this bike park is really close to my heart because it's where I learned my mountain bike skills and where I started mountain biking.
That's amazing. And it doesn't surprise me though, because it is known as a skills and adventure playground. So I mean, it's a family establishment first and foremost, lots to do for the kiddies tracks, but there are also 13 kilometers of world-class trails that are just about suitable for any rider.
Well, let's go check them out.
Perfect, let's do that. Okay, so as you enter the facility, you're met by the first of many signs here at the Cycle Lab Bike Park. And it's worth noting that the signage system is nothing short of brilliant. There's so much information here to tell you exactly how everything works. So if you look at this board behind me as an example, there's a map here. They introduced the Imber trail grading system, in green being the beginner trail, blue's your intermediate trails. And then there's also a little bit of black and double diamond, or the double black. And I know from personal experience that there's not a lot of really technical stuff here. Most of the trails are very rideable by most riders. You just have to pay attention to the color system as it's indicated here. And we're also in the middle of the hub, of the family hub as it were, because there's kiddies tracks just to my right there. If you look a little bit further down the bottom, there's a flow track built just for the kids, and it's called Flow Ray Me. There are also jump tracks. And often what happens on the weekends is people book out the bomas all over the place for kiddies parties. And lots of people come and have picnics here. It's an excellent place for the family to spend a day. So one of the really cool things about being here at the Cycle Lab Bike Park is, if for some reason you don't have a bike, it might be in the shop or you don't own one, they've got an extensive fleet of bikes that you can rent out. In addition to that, they've got helmets, so you really are well looked after. Okay, so they've got a really cool restaurant here called Fixie's, and if you're looking for excellent, possibly the best pizza in town, this is where you're going to find it. I'm joined here by Jean, who's the general manager of the Cycle Lab Bike Park. Jean, how's it?
How's it, Sven?
Long time no see.
Yeah, of course.
So tell me, Jean, what goes on here on a daily basis? Who do you cater for?
So we are a family environment. So we cater from little ones on a plastic scooter to your 87-year-old that wants to start riding. So a lot of hard work gets put into this. 24/7, 7 days a week job. And trust me, so we got 13 kilometers of trail, but it almost feels like 130 kilometers of trail of maintenance. So my guys are dedicated, each guy is dedicated to his own trail. So that's why it's on tip-top shape.
Okay guys, so here we are at the entrance to the jump tracks. And on any given weekend, you'll probably see a lot of kids bombing around you, having the time of their life. And it's quite a nice way to start your ride. Just go and warm up on these, and they're a lot of fun. So one of the newest tracks that have been built here is a pump track called Copperhead. I presume that it's named after the snake. And it's an excellent way, again, to warm up just before you hit the trails out there. And what's very cool to me is to see a big brand like Toyota sponsoring this area and in their way looking after mountain bikers. Okay, so here we are at the start of the 13-kilometer trail network. And again, the signage will remind you of the Imber trail grading system, which goes green, blue, and black according to the skill level required. And also, it's important to note that no 18-year-olds are allowed to ride these trails unsupervised. So this is what a typical trail entrance will look like at the Cycle Lab Bike Park. This particular one is called Spaghetti Junction, and you can see that there's lots of information here to tell you exactly what you're going to experience on this particular ride. Green sections, blue sections, which is obviously beginner and intermediate. The trail distance is 1,500 meters, and again, just to remind you, blue and green sections will be found on this particular trail. Okay, so here we have a good example of what a split looks like on a trail. Quite clearly you can see the slightly more advanced intermediate trail is to the left and the beginner trail continues to my right. So whilst it's not the biggest park, there are plenty of trails that can be found within its area. And at every single juncture, there's a nice map like this that tells you exactly where you are in the park. So in case you get slightly disorientated, these are going to help. Now the park is essentially divided into two sections, the southern part and the northern part, or the northern trails. Now on that side, just underneath the highway through a tunnel, are some of the best trails that can be found here at the Cycle Bike Park. Easily missed, but don't miss it because the trails are awesome.
Okay, so Sven, we're here at the entry of Berm Baby Berm, an iconic section of the Cycle Bike Park and also one of your personal favorites.
Yeah, one of my favorites, and also I think a favorite for a lot of people that ride here, because it's one of those trails that you can ride time and time again and never quite get bored.
It's suited for beginner riders, and there's also one or two intermediate sections, and it's 1,900 meters long.
Yeah, but I mean, it's important to note that most of this is rideable. Most of it is green with small sections that are blue. Right, Miles, that's the Cycle Bike Park done and dusted. It's a familiar place to ride, but always fun.
Yes, man, I'm glad we've ticked this bike park off the list. There's literally something for everyone here.
You know, even though you're riding in the heart of Bryanston, when you're flying along on the single track through the pine forests, it feels like you could be anywhere in the world.
Yep, and there's literally something for the whole family at the Cycle Bike Park.
The thing about those trails is they were built by Hilton Turvey, the guy who lives out in KZN. He's a well-known trail builder, and I must say he's done an excellent job here.
And one of the highlights of the day is when you finish your ride, you can treat yourself to an ice-cold drink and some really good food.
The pizza is amazing.
Well guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you soon.
Cheers.